specific votes?
I think so.
I thought the electoral, the Congress, they were just pretty much voting, or like I think, if I'm not mistaken, the electoral college was voting on the pretty much to solidify Biden's presidency.
Okay, so that's their.
Which is why they chose that day to go up there, obviously.
Yeah. They was mad.
So, as we've all heard at this point, 4 of them had died. One lady, I guess she tried to get through I don't know which window it was, whether the entry window or another window. She got shot in the chest. She later died. There was a report of 2 or 3 other males that sustained some type of injuries. They died. Tough luck. Shouldn't have been snooping around. Wasn't supposed to be.
What's that saying that they told the BLM people? What was it? Play stupid
games, win stupid prizes. And they won. I seen a funny meme. Somebody, I think it was on Twitter. Somebody posted it. Like, lady broke into the White House and got to meet Ronald Reagan the same day.
Yeah, bro, that was cold. I was like, oh shit.
At first, I didn't get it. At first, and I was like, oh.
I was like, too soon.
But at the same time, it's like, think about it. We can make anything funny. We can make tragedies funny somehow. We can make, this, a lot of people made funny because there was like 2 very specific black people who were spotted after rally.
There's more. I've seen more.
No, there's more, but there's one in particular everybody's seen. we'll get to that in a minute. But at the same time, when we were there in, what was it? June of last year. That's when the Black Lives Matter went there.
Mm-hmm.
We went peacefully. There was no craziness. We weren't out there trying to take it. We weren't even, I don't think they were trying to really get in. They were just trying to just like, doing a peaceful protest, letting them know we want justice. You guys need to do this and that. We were met, when I say we, with Black Lives Matter people, anybody, because it wasn't just black people that were out there for that one. If you look at the Black Lives Matter photos, the videos and everything from it, there was a mixture, an array of different races that were actually out there. And they were met, they didn't get to the steps. They were met with I actually wrote this down. So they were met with, where'd it go? Here we go. Assault rifles, shields, tear gas, and battle helmets. So that's what Black Lives Matter people was met with. That was the biggest uproar of what everybody was actually talking about, is because let it have been black people or Black Lives Matter, whatever, going to this particular, occasion, that would have been a bloody massacre. The police would have been everywhere, National Guard would have been everywhere. At the same time, they knew this was going to happen. Like the Trump people and all of them, they put it online. Every time a Trump rally is happening, you know it. They're always talking about it, so it's not like it's a secret. I don't know if they just didn't think it was going to happen, but when they showed up, we seen videos of, security, police letting them in, taking photos with them. So that brings us to what the hell happened. And that's what we dive in at.
So I was looking at one of the guys who I think was security for like White House or monuments or something. He was saying the reason why they let them in was to de-escalate the situation. But from what I seen, it was just like one guard right here, one guard over there. And it's just like...
It wasn't, like, if you look at it, that it's a large building, but it looked like it was very lightly secured at that point. You see some of the videos of, like, people getting to the front, and there's like 2 or 3 security guards. There's a video that there's one black security guard kind of running up the stairs, and there's like a small group of people kind of chasing him. They're not looking to do anything from like the video, because every time he stops, they stop. They don't get within 5 feet of him. But at the same time, he's running because he's calling for backup, but nobody else is like in the area. So that particular day, everybody must have been on lunch. Everybody must have been sick, because they literally had like 5 to 7 people for that entire building. And it was hundreds of people that came to that particular...
It just sucks because, when it comes to people of color protesting, if we would have did something like this, they would have brought the dogs out on us. There would have been military. I'm pretty sure there would have been a lot of casualties. I mean, I saw people stealing podiums and shit. Like, I know you seen that. Dude, like, really posed for the camera, took it.
He took Nancy Pelosi's gavel. Some dude took some mail because he was in her office just chilling.
Dumbass. Taking people's mail is a goddamn federal offense. And you on camera with talking about, hey, look what I got.
So, I mean, a lot of people, that's the thing, a lot of people went in there, and that was the biggest backlash, was that we, as a community, we were talking, there was, some other people talking about it as well, but it was mostly us talking about if this had been the other way around, this was a different group of people. And the way I took it was, yes, they knew that this was going to happen. They obviously didn't really care. They didn't take them too seriously because they were coming to storm. They were basically coming to stop the count, to delay the count. And they did for about 6 hours. They actually delayed the count. But the same thing happened. They still lost. So if they went to go stop, they stopped for a little bit, but they still ended up losing. Now, the big outrage from it everybody's talking about is mainly just because of how they were able to get into it, how the police and security let them, go into the building and stuff like that.
And taking pics on them and stuff, like you said, like, bro, we could have never done that. As soon as we hit them steps, we would have got tear gas, pepper spray, dogs let loose on us, beat with batons, shields, helmets, you name it. It just, to me, it just clearly shows what everybody's been saying.
It's the big white privilege thing, and so basically anybody who if you disagree with, like, they don't have white privilege, regardless if it was Trump supporters or not, mainly it's white people going up there. There's, like you said, there's a handful, sprinkle, some colored folks.
Of course, you got to sprinkle a couple in there. They're like, hey, why don't you come with us to the rally?
But I mean, what did y'all think about it? Because I'm just say something real quick. How I see it, everybody was posting the same thing. So when you start posting the same thing on every network, every social media platform, it's the same video, different angles, different people. Screen recording, people that are in there going live, which is stupid. Cause that's the thing. Republicans are not the brightest people. You can obviously tell that Trump supporters aren't the brightest people because of the actions they took, and then they just incriminated themselves as soon as they got in there. Mm-hmm. That's the one thing.
So, a lot of this, so pretty much from what I read, primarily the crowd was of people who who disagreed or who were mad, upset that the election was rigged, or not rigged, but it was that Trump was cheated, pretty much. And now, and then I guess it was other people that was a part of the crowd too, who was irritated about the stimulus, and now the stimulus, should have been more than 600 and other shit too, right? So I'm about to step out of this whole. I'm not part of either group, right? I'm just standing out. I'm just. My point of view, I'm looking at it from just a outside's point of view, not being part of any group and not comparing. If I would have been one of these people doing this, what would happen to me? So I'm stepping out, right? So now I have to think about this from this point. When the fuck has an election been a fucking real? When has it been a fair? When the fuck has there even been a fair election? Because we could go back to when fucking Kerry. Talking
about Bush and
fucking Gore.
Gore, yeah.
Right? That was like fucking obvious. Like, I mean, to me, it's just, I don't, this shit doesn't really make any sense to me as far as like it being a genuine election, right? So looking at it from that standpoint, it's like, why wait till now to get upset about some shit that's been happening for years upon years? Secondly, now I do agree with, so this is one thing I do agree with about this whole thing. I feel like if you are upset about what the power structure is that you're so-called doing, yeah, run up in that bitch. Like, I know that's unpopular right now to say, but it's like, you said BLM was walking around, it's peaceful. Fuck that peaceful shit. When has that ever worked?
It's never worked.
When has it ever worked?
When has violence ever worked, though? It hasn't. It hasn't.
I mean, sometimes.
It really hasn't, bro. And
You
you think about it.
wrong. Peaceful, sometimes peaceful shit has worked too, but
Malcolm X is a prime example of that. He was like, "Hey, I'm all about peace, but if somebody get up in your face, you got the right to drop them. You got to protect you and yours." He got killed still. MLK, peaceful guy. He got killed still. It doesn't matter what we do, we gonna get killed. We can't be peaceful. We can't be violent. They just want us to be,
just to be.
They just want us to be just there.